subscribe for the very latest.
Bye, Daddy.
You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going all alone.
All right. We got number 10 out. You're on number 9.
Oh, for me, my go.
Yeah.
Yoda Uhura from Star Trek.
Hailing frequencies open, sir.
I'm Nichelle Nichols, and I played Lieutenant Uhura in Star Trek.
Contact established, Captain.
Seeing someone like Lieutenant Uhura on that stage, he's right behind the captain's shoulder was a big thing. I felt I could probably do that too.
Well, she's the most important person on the bridge. When Lieutenant Uhura says captain, everybody turns around to look.
How is that personal to you, Trim?
Cause for me, my dad used to watch Star Trek, so seeing characters back then, it was really hard to it was different to actually see a black character, a black female character at that on TV, and then her making history where she stood in a role where she represented us, a people of color, in science fiction, for one, because that was probably unheard of. And then at the same time, she also shipped one of the first kisses with a different race, and making it to where that was something that would be the norm later. But it really wasn't heard of at that time.
And she was bad.
She was bad too.
She was bad.
She was bad.
She was bad. Beautiful. They don't make women like they did in the 60s.
They don't. And the funny thing is, she was actually about to leave but it was due to the encouragement of Martin Luther King for her to stay in that role. Actually about to leave at the time.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Yeah, I was gonna put her on the list too.
Yeah.
But because she it's really tough. When you're coming up in that type of era and you have a dream, and your dream is shattered by your skin color, and it's not like it's been hidden or anything like that. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
But I commend a lot of those networks and a lot of those directors and writers for taking a chance and trying to break the color barrier and understanding. Because I recall hearing that Star Trek didn't do so well in the beginning.
At the beginning,
I think they got canceled in the beginning. Don't quote me on this, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think they got canceled and then they brought them back.
Yeah, I think it was one of. Yeah, I got to do more research, but I think that it was they built up a huge following, and then
for that one season they did.
They have to bring them back.
Because the reruns did so well, they had to bring it back
for sure.
I think that's how it went.
They did a few. There's a few shows that have done that though.
Right.
Yeah. So that's rerun, those reruns, and that building up a following. That stuff really does matter.
Right. So shout out, that was a good pick. Chuck, number 9, dog. What we got? What you doing?
I'm gonna circle back on Fresh Prince, but I'm gonna choose Uncle Phil.
Legal partner. I've got a few questions for you. When you got this alleged confession from these two young men, did they have a lawyer present? No, because I'm their lawyer. Did you notify their parents? No, because we're their parents. So, officer, don't tell us to wait, and don't tell us to sit down. Just open that damn cell and let those two boys out of there, or I'm going to tie this place up with so much litigation that your grandchildren are going to need lawyers.
Uncle Phil was definitely.
Uncle Phil was kind of a outside of like having an infamous, comedic component for us throwing jazz out pretty much on every episode. But he was kind of like toggling a lot of times between two worlds that most professional black men toggle. Like, you know, coming out of the revolutionary period or civil rights movement, going through that. Then now I'm in corporate America. I'm a lawyer. I got a different fight in a different environment. And now I got to navigate through that with a black family. You know what I'm saying? So that's a challenge in its own right. And then trying to, now you have technically, even though Will is his nephew, but I still consider him like his son. Right. He's raising him that way. So to basically, I know I'm surprised no one put Lou as their villain. With
Louis Smith.
But the good one. But yeah. So it's just one of those things because you see like multiple episodes where he's like he's trying to help them navigate because Will coming from the environment he came from in Philly, and then his son has a totally different experience of blackness and helping him navigate through that. So just seeing him, being like I call the lighthouse for both of them in a different way was really interesting to see, in a black sitcom at that point in time. So that's why I pick him at number 9.
Man, R.I.P. to James Avery, man.
Yeah, that dude was a true actor's actor.
I mean,
for sure.
To watch a scene, to watch him work.
Master of his craft.
If you're in a scene with James Avery, you have no choice but to be great.
Mm-hmm.
That scene is going to have to be a scene that's going to be talked about the next day at the water cooler.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. First episode.
Right.
First episode. He let him have it. First episode.
Mm-hmm. With the plan.
Right. It's like Denzel. Like when you're in scene with certain actors, it's like they put you in a blender. Like they put you in this thing that they create where you gotta be on your A game, else
it's gonna be bad.
We gonna be doing takes all day long.
Yeah, for sure.
Because James Avery is that great. He's locked in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Think about the scene he had with Will's father in that scene when he was about to leave again. Think about those scenes where he was kind of second guessing because Phil's character came from the civil rights movement and his confusion of his success of who he was as a man versus who he was back then when he was running with the Black Panthers and all of that. Like those scenes with James Avery was a master at his craft. He got to get the respect because I think what it is, I think most of his stuff is on theater and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the Fresh Prince is his. That's what he stands on. That's what we know him for.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I truly appreciate James Avery for sure. Walt. Number 9.
Yeah, I picked Static Shock.
I never knew how important it would be to meet a role model like you.
Role model?
Yeah, a black superhero. I don't know, it validates me somehow.
So, for
Static Shock.
Yeah, Static Shock, obvious reasons. As far as like animation,
right,
in this cartoon world that we in, Static Shock is, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but Static Shock was one of the first superhero TV shows where you have a black lead, and it was one of the hottest shows on TV.
That was when I remember. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember Static Shock before the TV show, the comic book, because I think he spent off from Spider-Man. No, is this Batman or Spider-Man?
Nah. So Static Shock is It's from Image Comics. Image Comics was originally a black. They basically like the black DC, but before they merged with DC.
That's what I'm saying.
So it was an independent,
right?
But it wasn't. Yeah. So it was
they did bring him in. I think they brought Static Shock in somewhere.
Yeah, they merge it with DC now. So it's
right.
DC,
Okay.
But Image was Image Comics.
Farlane, Jim Lee. They were some top artists from Marvel, and they branched off and they started created their own comic books business. And McFarlane, famously known for drawing Spider-Man, the different poses that we see him now.
I know he came as Spider-Man somewhere.
Yeah, Jim Lee, famous for drawing X-Men at the time, and some others, and there's some other artists that joined them too. But yeah.
Yes. You know, so, but Static Shock, I mean, obvious reasons.
That cartoon was crazy.
Yeah,
it was.
That was everybody. I remember everybody, like at least my friends and everybody was talking about that show heavy.
Yeah. They having all the stars on it, because you having Static Shock on the cartoon. They put Shaq on there. Romeo. They had a lot of hip hop artists on there.
Yeah.
They had a lot of musicians on there. They had historical events on there. They put a lot of black history, and they really put projects in cartoons.
They pushed the line. They pushed the line heavy.
Yeah.
They was pushing the line heavy.
It felt so good that his sidekick was the white boy. You know, I liked it. You know, I like, you know, all my other heroes, but it was cool to see a young black kid be the lead, the MC of his own thing. So that's what I like about it.
They need to bring Static back.
They do.
Give him a movie, son. Just give him a movie.
Yeah,
they do.
For sure. And it's gonna be raw too, guaranteed. That's gonna be dope. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
You didn't go yet.
I didn't go. All right. Let's see what I got. Number 9, I picked Martin.
Where were you on the 15th? I was with you, Matlock. That's very funny, Hetty Murphy. You have an address book? May I see it? Yeah, please. We're pressed for time, please. Claudine, GTD. What does GTD stand for? Tommy, I've asked a question. What does GTD stand for? I answered your question. Man, you are in a court of law. There are a lot of people in here. We can't hear you. Your Honor, you're going to have to make them speak up. What does GTD stand for? Got the draws, okay? Got the draws. Yeah, he got the draws.
Martin, first of all, I mean, you know, I'm gonna shoot Jordan game out the. It was crazy. Martin Jordan game was serious. It was serious, but you know, not just that, but the way Martin put on a lot of rappers to come on there. Come on, the endless, iconic one-liners or, you know, characters. You know, he was influential in the culture, period. Like, he is the 90s. He is the 90s. And, you know, Martin is just one of them things where if you really wasn't there, you ain't gonna appreciate that, man. Like, some people, they can't appreciate it, but if you was there, man, you know Martin was that guy, man. And he held it down. I wish that whole thing with him and Gina didn't happen. That whole thing with you know, Tisha Campbell didn't happen, but
it's good, you know, now they all good. But
it's too late now. She done messed it up. I mean, let's bring it back. You done messed it up.
That ties into my next movie.
Yeah. Messed up.
You take your bags and walk out the door. You take your bags and walk out the door. You take your bags and walk out the door. You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going all alone.